No matter what kind of business you operate, you need to be able to accept payments. Therefore, you need what is known as a payment processor, a company that processes credit card and debit card transactions on behalf of your business so that you can receive the funds from those payments. Two of the biggest companies that provide this service are Stripe and Square. Now, we'll go on record as saying both are great products for small business owners, but which is better for your business? In this video, we're going to answer that question by pitting Stripe versus Square on 5 criteria: payment processing cost, hardware, software, ease of use, and payment options. Now, before we continue, we should warn you that payment processing is a fairly complex topic full of jargon. But don't worry, we're going to do our best in this video to not only explain the differences between Stripe versus Square, but also break down all the different terms that pop up when talking about payment processing. If you have any lingering questions by the end of the video, feel free to leave us a comment. Now let's get started. Okay, first let's talk about payment processing cost. Stripe and Square both allow you to accept credit and debit card transactions, but they'll charge you a fee for doing so. Some of this fee goes to the credit card networks such as Visa or American Express, which is how they make money. The rest goes to the payment processor, which is how they make money. Most payment processors will charge different rates depending on whether or not the transaction took place in person, such as at a store, or online, like an e-commerce website. The online processing rate is typically higher because online transactions are considered riskier by payment processors because the cardholder is not physically present. To compensate for this risk, most payment processors will charge a higher rate. For in-person card payments, Square charges a fee of 2.6% plus 10 cents per transaction. So if, for example, Square processes a $100 credit card transaction on behalf of your business, they'll take $2.70 of that sale as a fee for processing it. Stripe's in-person processing fee is slightly higher than Square's, 2.7% plus 10 cents. The fee for online payment processing for both Stripe and Square is 2.9%. Now, before moving on, we should explain that Stripe was designed to accept online payments, whereas Square was initially designed to accept in-person payments. Therefore, Stripe gives you a lot more bang for your buck if you operate an online business. We'll touch more on this in the software section of our comparison. For now, we'll say that Square is the more cost-effective option for brick and mortar businesses, and Stripe is the more cost-effective option for online businesses. But with either, you get month-to-month contracts and no early termination fees, which is rare in the payment processing space. Okay, next up, let's talk about hardware. When we talk about hardware in relation to payment processing, we're talking about the physical devices used to accept and process credit and debit card payments. This includes credit card terminals equipped to read a credit card mag stripe, chip, or mobile wallet like Apple Pay or Google Pay. It also refers to additional physical devices that play a role in payment processing. As a group, these devices are known as point-of-sale hardware because they represent the location where the payment is actually taking place. Devices that could be considered point-of-sale hardware include receipt printers, barcode scanners, cash drawers, and iPads or tablets connected to a credit card reader. Now, when it comes to Stripe's point-of-sale hardware, your options are very limited. Stripe only sells 2 types of credit card readers, one for processing magstripe and chip cards, and one for accepting mobile wallet payments. But again, Stripe isn't designed for in-person payments, so they're not focused on creating point-of-sale hardware. Square, on the other hand, built its reputation on cutting-edge point-of-sale hardware. Chances are you've probably already swiped or dipped your credit card in one of their sleek white credit card terminals. In fact, if you sign up to have Square as your payment processor, they'll give you a free magstripe reader that you can attach to your phone to accept payments. But that's far from your only option. There's also the Square Register, a large countertop point of sale, the Square Terminal, a handheld point of sale device that can print receipts, the Square Stand, a stand you can mount an iPad on with a built-in credit card reader, and a handful of different credit card terminals that can accept all kinds of payments. And Square also sells receipt printers, barcode scanners, cash drawers, and other products separately or as part of kits. For all these reasons, Square is unquestionably the superior option for those looking for a payment processor with hardware options. Okay, now let's talk about software. Payment processing software is the technology that works in conjunction with the point-of-sale hardware to process a payment. Here's where Stripe really shines, as they offer the developer tools to integrate payments into any kind of website or application and create a totally customizable checkout experience. Because of this, major brands like Glossier, Kickstarter, Slack, and even Lyft use Stripe to process online payments. Of course, creating a customized checkout experience requires a lot of technical know-how, which is why Stripe has a ton of documentation on their website for developers. But if you're looking for something simple, Stripe can also provide you with just a few lines of code you can embed on your website to create a checkout page. We don't have all day, so we're not going to list everything included in the Stripe software, but this page on their website gives you a pretty good idea. While Square offers tools to facilitate online payments too, their software is more often used for in-person payments. Their free point-of-sale app allows you to track your sales and inventory, set employee schedules, save customer information, and a whole lot more. Square also offers different versions of this app depending if you run a retail business or a restaurant business, although these versions of the app cost $60 per month each. The point-of-sale software is something that Stripe doesn't provide, although Stripe does integrate with other point-of-sale softwares. So in short, Square software will, once more, be better if you run a brick-and-mortar business, and Stripe's will be better for online businesses. Okay, next up, ease of use. We can tackle this one fairly quickly. Square is the easier-to-use payment processor. That's because it takes no technical experience to get the most out of this product. Simply download the Square app on your phone or iPad, connect the device to a credit card reader, and you're ready to go. Of course, Stripe does have a simple integration as well, but to get the most out of Stripe, you really need to know how to utilize application programming interfaces or APIs and software developer kits. One thing we can say that's convenient about both Stripe and Square is that they're both payment service providers. This means you don't have to apply to start processing payments with either service. You just provide your business information and they attach you to their merchant account, which is a special type of account required to accept card payments. If you were to, say, go through a bank to get your merchant account, they'd put you through a rigorous and time-consuming underwriting process. For this reason, payment service providers like Stripe and Square are the more popular option with small businesses. So now we've covered cost, hardware, software, and ease of use. But if your payment processor doesn't accept the payment methods your customers like to use, then none of that matters. Fortunately, Stripe and Square both accept a myriad of different payment methods, including Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Both can also process ACH payments, invoice payments, and most mobile wallets. However, Stripe also allows you to process payments in over 135 different currencies, whereas Square payment processing is only available in a handful of countries outside the United States. Stripe's developer tools also allow merchants the ability to accept local payment methods in other countries, such as GiroPay in Germany and Alipay in China. In short, if your customer uses it, Stripe probably processes it. For businesses that sell all over the world, Stripe will be your best option. But if you're only performing in-person transactions, Square should be able to get the job done. To wrap this all up, we'll state again that both Stripe and Square are excellent payment processors, but they're also very different payment processors. Square is an excellent platform for brick-and-mortar merchants and those who are looking for a simple payment solution that can scale with their business as they grow. Their point-of-sale hardware and software are second to none, and you don't need any technical know-how to get started. Stripe is a platform that pretty much allows you to accept payments online in any way you want. Of course, to do this, you'll need technical knowledge, which is why Stripe is beloved by tech companies and internet businesses the world over. If you're this type of business, we highly recommend Stripe. For everyone else, Square's the way to go. We hope you found this Stripe versus Square comparison helpful. For more information on how to start and grow your business, visit Fundera.com or the Fundera Ledger. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any additional questions about anything we've discussed, please leave us a comment below. Thanks for watching, everyone.